you. Saquon Barkley drops the ball on 3rd and 3. Kirk Cousins, with a minute left, marches down the field to get the Falcons' second touchdown of the game. Dude had to go 80 yards, and he did it in about 4 plays. A complete collapse, demise. I don't know the atrocities that were occurring in the link yesterday, but we are in our own facility to discuss it. It's all right, big dog. It's all right.
That one hurt.
That one hurt. It had to have. The man to my right is the Eagles' all-time rushing leader. So if y'all know loss, if y'all know pain, if y'all know agony, if y'all know devastation, if y'all know destruction, this person has lived it over the last 10 hours. I'm sorry.
You know where hurt at? Right here.
Right there, 2-5.
We had it, dog.
Had it and lost it. But here's the most important question. I hate to ask it, but every now and then you must. Who in the world? I mean, y'all buckle up for this one. I don't care if you're driving and listening, put your seatbelts on. If you at the house, sit back into your couch. If you at the job, don't tell your boss you're watching, because it's about to get good. Shady, who do you blame for the Eagles' collapse?
So much. Who do I blame? I'm gonna just go to this, man. Like the up and downs of a football game, right? I know you don't like that answer, but it's real. Yeah.
I'm not letting you off the hook for that one. The up and downs. The up and downs of a football game.
Listen,
highs and the lows.
Up and down, like just like this. It happens like that. People we married for 50-something years. How y'all do it? Up and down. We figured it out. Why y'all divorced? Up and down. So I'm going with that, and the reason why is because, first of all, Philadelphia, we win in September. That's what we do.
Sure.
The last time we lost in September was what, like 2021? That's what we do. We win games, okay? Yeah. So yesterday, I'm going to the turnovers, right? That last turnover kind of killed me a little bit.
The Hurts one.
The Hurts one, right? Let me tell you why. Because we needed 15 yards to get in field goal range, right? And one thing about us, Elliott, he knocks them things in.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
60 yards.
Now, and I'm not blaming Jalen, but I'm gonna say that's part of it. Okay, it's one of them. Another one is the the penalties. We had 9 penalties though. Some of these runs we kept talking about, the RPO this, RPO that. I love the RPO, but sometimes let's take the RPO tag off. RPO was either run or pass option. We had Saquon Barkley. He had 22 touches for 95 yards.
He was toting it.
Some of them plays he had a 9-yard run, a 10-yard run. They called him back. Why? Illegal man downfield. That means the lineman is past the line of scrimmage while he's throwing the ball. No. Let's just run the ball, keep on the ground, and let Saquon Barkley be Saquon Barkley. What else we have? And then I'm going to give some credit to Kirk Cousins. We all thought Kirk was kind of going that tank. Is he healthy? Is he not healthy? He looked injured. Last week he looked good against the Steelers. He came against us in Philadelphia, and he won that game, right? He had under a minute. He scored under a minute. So all I'm saying is we could talk about the defense because they didn't really play well either. We needed stops. They didn't really get them other than C.J. Gardner. So this blame game goes everywhere, though.
What do you think the most important is? Really quick.
It's all together, dog.
Can I say this really quick?
It's all together.
I could go last on this. Hey,
you should go now.
Hold on real quick. My boys, my family, they all watch the show.
Okay.
And one of their main takes out of the show, they say, y'all need Shady.
Of course.
My dog keeps it a buck.
Yo.
Every single time he gives it a take. His energy, he keep it 100.
And he really believes it.
Sometimes he really don't even care who it is. You lying right now.
He lying right now.
You're not keeping the buck right now.
Hey, he lying. James boys? Not real. Y'all know what's going on.
They know right now this ain't the Shady that they used to watch it.
Say somebody. Come on.
Hey, we in the facility. They know in the facility this ain't the Shady they used to watch.
I gave it 100. You gave it 100.
You want more take?
Yeah.
I want a real
They don't care about
take.
what we think about the Eagles.
Who is to blame
don't care
Eagles'
about us.
all-time rushing leader for the collapse? It was 21-15 with 1:34 seconds left in the game. The Eagles were winning in their house in the home opener. Who is to blame?
Like I said, seriously, the up and downs of the game.
I'm done with it.
Because y'all want me to say, Coach, I don't believe the coach made the wrong decision. I don't believe that, all right? And then you talk about the defense. Yeah, they played well. But when we needed to stop, the game was stacked.
Then let me get to it, big dog. I play defense, obviously. A couple people are to blame. This person's blame never usually comes out of my mouth, but I will say this, and we have a close enough relationship for me to say it. Howie Roseman. There's a disconnect between the general manager, Howie Roseman, and the defensive coordinator, Vic Fangio. What do I mean? The Eagles do not have a pass rusher that can win by himself. As a result, the Eagles defensive coordinator, Vic Fangio, he chooses to send pressure early on in the game. What happened when he sent pressure early on in the game? Darnell Mooney beats Chauncey Gardner-Johnson for the 41-yard touchdown. That was the only touchdown the Falcons had throughout the duration of the first 58 minutes of ball. So now with the minute and a half left, what does Vic Fangio do? He reverts back to his roots. Fangio does not like to send pressure. He likes to rush 4 and win with 4. The dilemma is Howie Roseman has not equipped Vic Fangio with the roster that can win with 4. Vic Fangio had the #1 defense in football in 2018 with the Chicago Bears. But who did he have on that defensive line? Chase Daniel was there, my brother was there. But he had Khalil Mack.
So good.
And Khalil Mack can win without having additional
too.
rushers. So with that being said, Vic Fangio does not have a roster that can win with 4, so Vic has to bring an additional player. As a result, the Eagles can't get home. When I'm looking at it, I blame Howie Roseman for that late game collapse because where's the elite pass rusher? Kirk Cousins is sitting there with the bad Achilles. If you can just have somebody win, but you acquire Bryce Huff for $50 million from the Jets. Bryce Huff had one 10-sack season. It was in his contract year. Do not trust a player who only balls in his contract year. Every player balls in their contract year. He got one 10-sack season in his contract year. Josh Sweat, I think Josh Sweat has the ability to be a great pass rusher. He has one 10-plus sack season. That's when the Eagles had their 70 sacks. Everybody and their mama was getting sacks that year. So I blame, and I rarely ever do this because Howie's my guy, but the Eagles' defensive line is not equipped to rush the passer with 4. But Vic Fangio is a defensive coordinator who only wants to rush the passer with 4. So then late in the game, Vic Fangio is doing what he only knows how to do, but Howie hasn't equipped him to do what he knows how to do best, and that is why you have a collapse. I'll break down the tape a little bit later, but that to me is
Man, that's why you didn't give us your answer in the meantime. I didn't know you was going that route.
The
GM,
I couldn't find Huff at all either last night.
But the GM, he drafted Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter. They were nowhere to be found last night.
Correct.
Like, I think Jalen's great, but he was nowhere to be found. Right? They're not great. Like, you'd expect Vic fits that scheme well because they do have the 4 rushers up front that need to get home. But at the end of the day, I'm going to go with Nick Sirianni.
Ooh, talk to me, Chase. I'm listening.
And there's a couple reasons. One, you started the show saying just how epic of big collapse it was. All right, I got community noted by Next Gen Stats on my take with the Chicago Bears with the pass rushes. All right, I'm not going to get community noted on this because the comeback for the Falcons is the 7th most improbable win in the entire Next Gen Stats era. They had a 0.7% chance of winning when that 2-minute drive started. 0.7%.
Not even 1%.
Epic collapse, okay? But I just go back to Nick Sirianni's decision, I think it's the second drive of the game, to not kick the field goal. He goes for it on 4th and 4.
Twice.
Twice, okay? But kick the field goal. Like, I think that these coaches, and rightfully so, they get so enthralled with analytics, and they have a whole team around them that goes and says, hey, you know, it's 4th and 3. That's what they're saying. You got a green light. Like, go for it. At the end of the day, you got to step back from it early in the game. You don't know how this game is going. You're really at that point, the second drive of the game, you're controlling the game with the run. Saquon Barkley looked amazing from the start. All those RPOs, those penalties were called later in the game. So they were rolling. At the end of the day, just kick the field goal. And you take the points, and then it's a 9-point lead when he gets the ball back. And we'll talk about the third down play call as well. But at the end of the day, Sirianni's trusting analytics too much for me. At the end of the day, you just got to think about it from your mindset. Just take the points, man.
I think the blessing about this loss is
A blessing.
everybody gets a little bit of the blame. I think the blessing about that, like, you're not walking off this field like, dang, man, the offense got to do this, or dang, man, like, we all got
blessings.
Yeah, we all got to play better. So Nick Sirianni, Kellen Moore, and the players. And I'm gonna start with Nick Sirianni. I'm gonna start with Nick Sirianni. You're not playing Patrick Mahomes, man. You're playing Kirk Cousins. Stop being greedy. You go for it twice on 4th down. That's 6 points.
Good point.
Kirk Cousins ain't lighting it up, going down the field, scoring touchdowns. Yes, the defense was not solid on the run, but they was not giving up touchdowns. They was holding them to field goals. They was getting off the field. Why are you not taking the points? Those 6 points at the end of the game, you know what that equals? A W for the Philadelphia Eagles. So I blame that part on Nick Sirianni. I felt like Kellen Moore at times when you calling these offensive plays, you could have been better. And we're going to get into a couple play calls. I felt like you could have been better. And then the players, right? I coach Little League football.
Sir.
Me too.
If we have a minute left in the game with no timeouts, we are telling our kids, Do not give up this sideline.
Take the sideline away.
Take the sideline away. Don't go for none of these inside moves because it's okay if they catch it in there.
Talk about it, Jay.
Tackle him,
Talk about it.
and the clock keeps running because last time I checked, they have no timeouts.
No timeouts.
You guys gave up 2 plays, chunk plays, back to back, and just let Darnell Mooney get out of bounds. That was crazy to me. And I'm like, as players, I don't care what the defensive coordinator calls. I'm not putting that on the coach. Situational football. We go over it every single day in practice. Situational football. What we gonna do on third down in situations? No more situations. If the clock is against you, hurry up and get down so you can save some time. We go through all these situations. In this